With Dragon Ball Sparking Zero literally just being a couple months from its release, we've been getting an immense amount of gameplay improvements, and it's honestly insane to see how far this game has been coming. I mean, just look at all of these gameplay improvements they've made so far. God damn! We're going to be going ahead and taking a look at all of the gameplay improvements that they've been making in 4 and really analyzing how much this game has been evolving. Starting with the first image right here, you can see how it's very self-explanatory with the comparison between these two gameplay images, but this is Goku in his Kaio-ken stage doing, I believe it's the ×20 Kaio-ken Kamehameha, and this just looks absolutely phenomenal so far. You can see this one on the left is what it looked like before, and the one on the right is what it looked like after. It just looks so amazing. Like, something that I really notice about this, so like when I'm looking at these gameplay comparisons, is really like when I look at the first image when it was first released, I thought it was like the best thing in the world, and there was like no way it could have gotten any better. But then when I look on the right to how they've just massively improved the graphics and the scenery for this specific scene, it just looks absolutely insane. As you can see, the shading looks a lot different. They add more detail to his mouth and they make it a lot wider and bigger. Pause, but you know what I mean? The aura looks a lot better for this one on the right as well. The one on the right, the aura really pops more. And not just that, but the actual detail to Goku's design on the right is just so much better to the way it is over here. It just looks more visually appealing than the one does over here on the left. But this is not the only image that we've seen that looks way better for the ×20 Kaio-ken Kamehameha. We actually do have another image right here, and it really just takes it to another level, considering the fact that we really see a closer up visual representation of how it looks so much better than it did before. This image right here of Goku in his Kaio-ken just looks so good. Arguably the best scenery that we've seen for any Kaio-ken Goku, period. Just straight up period. You can see here on the left image right here, you can't even really see Goku's mouth here from the left image on right here, and with the one that you see right here on the right, it just looks so much better. Like, it's really just not even comparable. Like, the one on the right really just shows how trash the one on the left is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us, when we first saw the one here on the left, we just thought it just looked so good. And then when we see this new design here from the recent demo gameplay, we really start to realize how trash this was here on the left beforehand. And I think we really need to be a lot more critical when we're analyzing the graphics themselves to begin with. We actually do have another Kaio-ken image right here. Obviously, this is a little bit incomparable considering the fact that the one here on the left is Goku basically battle damage without a shirt on, and the one here on the right is Goku with his actual turtle hermit gi on all the way. So, you know, it's a little bit incomparable. However, we do see a lot of the visual differences with the actual facial structures themselves. Obviously, the one here on the left, like I said, it really looks like something that would belong in South Park. If the shading of South Park and how things are in South Park is literally what this looks like here on the left. If you actually look here on the right, though, the image of Goku here looks absolutely amazing. This is literally what Dragon Ball is. Like, you can even argue that the animation from this game alone is better than the animation that we've gotten in early Dragon Ball Super. Literally, it's really sad to say that. It's really crazy to say that, but it's honestly kind of facts, you know? Like, this just looks way better. We do have more images right here with Super Trunks right here. This is obviously Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks right here, and I think this is probably one of the biggest comparison visuals that we've seen. I mean, just look at the one right here on the left. Instinctively, if you showed me this one, I would say that there's nothing wrong with it. You know, it doesn't look that bad. You know, the shading looks all right. You know, maybe I would say add some more visual appeal to his nose and maybe his mouth, maybe on the outline of his mouth a little bit more, but nothing wrong with it at all. But when you look at the one here on the right, oh my goodness, it just looks so much better. It really does look so much better. It gives a much better visual appeal to Super Trunks, and it's just absolutely like incomparable, honestly. The eyes just look so much better compared to the way it does here. The shading just looks way better compared to the one it does here. I'm sorry for the bad quality, by the way. Like this, I try to get these in the best quality that I could possible. I've even upscaled the images, so you know it could be in the best quality possible, but this is basically what we've had so far, and it just looks so good. This next one right here is the one-handed spirit bomb that we do see from Goku. Obviously, this one right here on the left, I believe this is the same image that was on the official Dragon Ball Sparking Zero website for when you look at Goku Z early. Not a bad image at all. Like I said, again, with this first image, I would have zero complaints about it. Obviously, it looks way better here on the right. Obviously, I think the comparison here is a little bit incomparable considering the fact that Goku looks way like more hurt and battle damaged compared to this image on the left. So, but again, you know, a part of me kind of likes this one on the left a little bit more, but you know, the one right here on the right, you know, I think it has, the shading definitely suits the background or the backdrop a lot more than it does here on the left, so I have no complaints about that. We do have this next image right here with Goten and Trunks basically doing the fusion dance. This is probably not too, you know, the differences with this one isn't necessarily probably anything that's too big or anything that's, you know, too massive or anything like that. You can see here the shading just looks, that's basically the only difference with these two images here. The shading is just different. The one on the left obviously covers the shading on their foreheads a little bit more, and it doesn't really get the right shading around their face, their facial structures. This one right here on the right though, it does get the shading a lot better, shading them on the left side of their heads, and basically, you know, shading Trunks right here to the his entire portion of the head besides the, you know, the small portion of his head where it's not supposed to be shaded because of the fusion dance. A part of me feels like I would like this one on the left a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to say. I don't have a problem with either of them. I think they both, you know, equally look just as good as the other. If I had to choose one though, I would probably choose the one right here on the left. But this next image right here with Gotenks basically first appearing, this is definitely a much better visual appeal that we've seen. Obviously, this one right here on the left has absolutely zero shading. The shading on the one on the left just looks, it's just nowhere to be seen. Obviously, you see the small shading right here on the right of his face, but that's literally it. But the one that we see here on the right, this actually looks like Gotenks. You know, this one right here on the left, it sort of looks very like, it looks like very South Park animation. If you guys know what South Park is, you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. This one right here on the right though actually looks like Gotenks. It really, really does, and the shading really is visually appealing for just coming out of a fusion transformation. So, you know, that's really cool to see as well. Now, I actually do want to get into these visual images that we do see of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, essentially, when I first saw Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I did have my own critiques about it. It wasn't those first things that I saw and I was like, it looks absolutely amazing. I thought he looked a little bit too skinny. The lighting on him didn't look so good, but they have been working a lot on Super Saiyan 3 Goku's design, and this first image right here is a testimony to that, by far. Absolutely. As you can see here with this first image of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, this is the windscreen right here, and this one on the left just looked absolutely terrible. Honestly, like, it just didn't look good. When I first saw it as well, I didn't think it looked good either, you know, like I did with previous images. This image alone right here on the left it just doesn't look good. There's no expression on his face. The eyes look absolutely horrible. You know, the visuals or the structures or the outlining to his face or even to his hair just looks absolutely horrible. The one here on the left, while I do have small critiques about it a little bit still, it looks 10 times better than the one here on the left. You know, it just looks way better. Obviously, this is the image here when Goku defeats Hirudegan in the Wrath of the Dragons movie, and he's basically holding up his fist, you know, showing that he's won. This is basically the same windscreen for that, but again, this one right here on the right, it does look really good. I do have a little bit of appeals to it here and there. You know, I would actually, you know, maybe extend his hair a little bit more, so maybe add like another string of hair right over here so we can see his hair a little bit more. Maybe fix the outlining to the front of his hair a little bit, and, you know, like maybe like lower his head a little bit more instead of putting it so up, because that makes the shaping of his head look a little bit weird compared to other things. But it still comparing it to the one here on the left, it looks way better. Like, it's just so much better. That's not the only Super Saiyan 3 difference in visuals that we see here though, because this image right here is also another thing here. This is another massive critique I had about the original visuals of Super Saiyan 3, that it looked way too skinny. You know, it looked like Goku went on a massive diet. Like, this is the kind of, you know, bodily structure that we should see for Super Saiyan God Goku, rather than, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Super Saiyan 3 Goku is supposed to be a lot more buffed out and stuff like that, but they do absolutely change that with this image right here on the right. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, his actual bodily structure looks way better compared to the way it does right here on the left. Like, Goku here on the left looks like he's way too skinny. Like he looks like a skeleton. It doesn't even look good at all. You know, like I really didn't like this visual appeal to Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Something that I would say about this image right here on the right though is maybe to, you know, extend out his hair a little bit, because his hair looks a lot too, like way too small compared to his actual bodily structure. But that's the only thing I would have to say about that. The shading for it looks really, really good. The actual coloring for the yellow looks a lot better compared to the way it does here on the left. But you know, they are improving, and they're listening to our advice, and that is the #1 thing that I'm happy about when it comes to this game coming out so soon. Going into the designs of Super Saiyan Goku though, we do actually have, I think it's 2 more images to go through here, but this image right here of Super Saiyan Goku, this is when he's waving goodbye to his friends before he's about to sacrifice his life on Cell. I know a lot of you guys probably prefer this image right here on the left. And while it does look a little, like maybe a little bit better for his eyes at least, I actually do prefer this image right here on the right. And that's just purely due to the fact that, you know, this visual, or Goku's facial expression that we do see right here on the left, isn't necessarily accurate to the anime. You know, Goku basically has a really sympathetic or empathetic visual on his face, and this image right here on the right definitely carries that out a lot more. If you look at how it was in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about on how Goku's actually supposed to look before he waves goodbye to his friends. But this one right here actually does give a much more empathetic look to Goku's facial expression, which is why I personally enjoy this image right here on the right more than this image right here on the left. But they still both look really good. You know, like there's been images before that we've seen the before and afters of them, and the ones before just look absolutely garbage. This one right here on the before doesn't look that bad. I just really enjoy this facial expression from Goku a lot more than this one right here on the left. Last but certainly not least, we do have this next image right here, and this is the final one that we have here for the comparison of the latest graphic updates for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But we do have Goku Mid here. This one right here on the left is the one that we actually saw in the trailer, and this next one that we see here on the right is from the recent demo gameplay, and this one right here on the right just looks way better. You know, maybe I would say maybe like add a little bit more, you know, maybe make his skin a little bit more darker, because he looks way too white here based off of this image right here on the right. Like I would say maybe the skin color that he had here on the left look a lot better, but the hair specifically for this, and this is what makes Goku Mid such a rememberable character, is because he has the fluffy hair. But the hair specifically on the one on the right looks so much better than the one here on the left. It just looks way better. Absolutely no complaints on the actual lighting, the coloring, the outlining for the hair right here on the right side compared to the left side, because that's really what makes Goku Mid when it comes to his Super Saiyan transformation, is when he has fluffy hair. You know, everybody that, you know, has mained Goku Mid will know what I'm talking about. Me personally, when playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I was a massive Goku Mid main, as well as a Team Gohan main or a Youth Gohan main, whatever you would want to say, but I was a massive Mid Goku main. So this image right here on the right, it makes me so happy to see how they're really carrying out the fluffy hair design. But like I said, I would tone down the lighting to his skin color a little bit, because it looks way too bright to the point where it's actually like fitting in with the skin color to his eyes, which doesn't look good at all. But you know, we move on. Either way though, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has literally been doing nothing but evolving. That's literally what you want to see with this. This literally explains why within every single promo that we do see for the game, it literally says that this game, or the footage that we do see for the game, is still under development. It's showing that the game isn't done yet, and we have to give them time to cook. You know what I mean? You know, we're giving all of the game creators and all of the game designers for this game time to cook, and you know, it's visually representing with all of the things, or all of the updates that we do see, from when we see it from the trailers to when we see it to the demo gameplay to when we see it when the game actually does release. So that's really exciting. Let me know what you guys think about all of this stuff down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I'm absolutely hyped for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We're literally less than 3 months away from it, so hopefully all you guys have your game pre-ordered. I am doing a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero giveaway. I already announced one of the winners. If you guys do want to have time to be one of the winners for the Sparking Zero giveaway, make sure you guys do join my Discord. It'll be linked in the description below, so you guys can have more details about that. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.